Would you like to tell us about your science fair project, Tess?
So my project was on friction. Friction is a force that appears whenever one surface rubs against another. There are three types of friction: sliding, rolling, and viscous. I performed an experiment to demonstrate sliding and rolling friction.
Okay, and what did you use to demonstrate?
My experiment used a sled that held either one or two bricks. The sled had a mass of 300 grams, and the bricks had a mass of either 1.8 or 1.9 kilograms.
All right, and what different types of materials did you use to exhibit the differences in the friction?
I used oak board on oak board, steel on steel with oil, and steel on rollers.
Did you have any predictions that you made before you conducted the experiment?
My prediction was that the easiest to move, or the ones with the least amount of friction, would be either the steel on steel with oil or steel on rollers. And that the hardest to move, or the one with the most friction, would be oak board on oak board.
All right, and so you did a series of experiments, and how much data did you take, and what were the results?
So, for every experiment, I took five. For every experiment, I actually did 5 experiments and then graphed them. This is the friction values with 1 brick on the sled, and this is the friction values with 2 bricks on the sled.
Was your prediction correct?
Yes, it was.
So what was the easiest to move?
The steel on rollers,
Okay. And then the hardest was?
the oak board and oak board.
Would you like to show us a couple of examples of how you did the experiment now?
My experiment used a spring scale to measure the amount of force or the amount of friction. This one is done by newtons. And when you measure with these, you have to measure to get the correct data when it's in the middle, because static friction is always larger than kinetic friction. So that basically means that when you're starting, it's always going to be harder to pull than when you've already been going.
Okay. Can we see what the sled looks like from the side here? Okay.
So after the oak on oak board, I'm doing a steel on rollers, and this is another spring scale. They're color coded, so you know which one to use, because you can stretch them out if you use the wrong one. And this one goes along with a lot less force than the other one did.
Did you both pull it and take the reading?
No, my grandfather helped me pull it while I was taking the reading.
And you got pretty consistent readings?
Yes, for this one, yes.